It's round 2 of the Stanley HUT Playoffs. These are all the NHL content creators that are left in the tournament. I believe the terrible ones, Vegas Golden Knights, ended up going to the second round. But for us, what we are concerned about is Pittsburgh versus Columbus, Brianstormed versus Landerkog. Just a reminder, this is what my team looks like. No upgrades since the last Stanley HUT Playoffs video. Again, stacked down the middle. Very bad fourth line that I try not to use. Defense is decent outside of Carlisle, and then 99 overall Fleury in net. I'm 81-5-2 in divisional play. My opponent is very good, 458 and 177. Here are just some of his recent standings over the past month. He plays a lot of HUT champions, a lot of competitive seasons, often in the top 100 of both. Here's what his team looks like. An absolutely stacked first line. Second line has a great shot in Vanek. Abramov might as well be a 99 overall, but very tiny. Third line a little weak outside of Gaborik, and fourth line pretty similar to mine, but he probably could have gone away with having lower overalls to stack the rest of the squad. His defense really shines. He's got the 93 overall foot from competitive seasons. Shares the wealth by putting 99 Jones on the second line. Those are two very dominating defensive lines he has there. Third line, not as great with 84 85s. Finally, 96 overall Bobrovsky is in net. Let's get it started. It's the first period. I already took a double minor penalty, so I'm down a man for 4 minutes. That's great. I'm trying to do my best to kill off this penalty time because I'm running 3 forward lines, so if my guys get tired, I'm going to be screwed for the rest of the period. After he gives us some space, we try our best to enter his zone. We don't exactly do that, but we did kill off about a minute of penalty time. When he finally does enter my zone with a man advantage, he cuts to the slot like this with foot, but Fleury makes the save. That shot was very popular for him, as it seemed like he couldn't really get any other kind of shots against me. This is going to be a great battle of defense. He showed more offensive prowess than I did, but every time my guys came up big, blocking shots, stopping him from entering those high-scoring areas. Right there, D-to-D one-timer. Great opportunity by him. But overall, I liked my defense. I forced him into the corners where he kind of didn't have any moves left, forced him to make some turnovers. Again, blocking shots here, though. He was a little bit fortunate to get another one-timer, and then I was fortunate for Fleury not letting that in, so great save by him. I had to get another penalty in this period, which slowed me down, but finally I get into his zone. I take a quality opportunity shot right there, but it was with Carlisle, and there's no way that that's going to go in. And then another opportunity here, trying to get on the backhand into that empty net on the right. We cycle the puck a little bit more, make something happen, pass it to Murphy all alone by himself, but Bobrovsky, not screen, is easily able to make that save. Just 2 shots from me, 5 shots from him, 6 penalty minutes by me. That's pretty rough, even though I had more time on attack. So in the first period, my offense was mainly at the end of the period. Second period, I start things off pretty hot. I enter his zone, try to get that one-timer, then a loose puck, we battle for it, I get it back, hope for the rebound that Crosby can get. Doesn't end up happening, though. On the flip side, he goes in, takes that same shot, cutting to the middle. A little bit too quick. If he held on to that a little bit longer, probably would have been better. Then a nice defensive play, well-timed poke check by me stops that. When we're going the other way, I spin around. We do end up getting hit from behind, losing the puck. We get it right back to a Ginla for this one-timer that beats Bobrovsky, and we are up by 1. About halfway through the game. It seems after this goal, he got a little bit rattled as he was starting to give up more high-quality shots, like right here. Barely missing that with my defenseman, goes right over his shoulder. And then his defenseman barely gets this for this one-timer, so Sullivan ends up taking a pretty weak shot. And then on the flip side, it's starting to show when he's kind of taking some pretty weak shots here. Like with Bull, not only is that his third liner, but it's also on an unscreened Fleury. Good luck trying to score that. Here he has an opportunity off the face-off, but 2 guys were able to get into that passing lane and stop it. Struggling out of my zone, he tries to do a little move, but instead ends up going into 4 of my guys. Going the other way, Crosby tries to enter the zone cleanly, but fails to do so. Basically, this and the next clip just epitomizes the game, as it just shows you how much of a defensive battle this was, as we were hardly able to get any really good quality shots. Eventually, when I take this puck away from him with Carlisle, we're going to get this up to Yager, who drifts upward, lures 4 guys pretty much onto him on the right, gives it to Sullivan, and then in deep to Kessel, who isn't able to bury that beautiful scoring opportunity. Shots, time on attack, and face-offs rather even heading into the third period. Early in the third period, we cycle the puck in his zone, but a bad play by me turns this into a 2-on-1 opportunity for him. I'm a little bit too far from the shooter, so I elect to take away the passing lane, which means he gets that breakaway opportunity but is not able to bury it. This time I'm on the power play as I try to take a shot immediately off the face-off. Nash is going to get the puck, go into my zone, and take the same shot that he's been taking this whole game. So now we're going to be going the other way on the power play. Slowly but surely we get it across to Perron, who has no opposition there. A little backskating freezes everyone up, but the one-timer is not good enough as Carlisle ends up stealing that one from my other defenseman. Halfway through the third, another double minor penalty for me, as this time my AI takes it. We do some nice moves to enter his zone, but then a really bad shot pretty much ends all that momentum. He enters the zone, we force ourselves on him, forcing this offside. Immediately after he wins this face-off and enters my zone with Panarin, he's going to pass this back to Nash and pass it back again to Foot. Cuts into the slot, but just way too many bodies for him to get a shot through. I feel like I had more shots blocked than he actually had shots in this game. And he had a good amount of shots. I think it was like 17 by the end of the game. Here he stops me from getting a beautiful one-timer in front of the net, intercepting that pass. In the final seconds of the game, he's in my zone doing what he can to get another high-quality opportunity, but it goes the other way instead. Pass it forward to Iginla, who gets a nice breakaway opportunity, but gets poke-checked from behind. He tries to clear it out. We stop him from doing that, so it's still in his zone in the dying seconds of the third period. We get to our blue line with Stripe, back to Iginla, back to the blue line. We cut to the slot, get around Vanek, and take a nice quality opportunity here, except Rekka gets it right in the face to stop it from being 2-0. That ends game 1. 1-0. It's been a while since I've had a game like that. Usually the games I play are pretty high scoring games. 17 shots for him, 10 for me, almost equal time on attack. He definitely ramped up those shots in the third period, but a lot of them just seem to be from a bunch of weird places. He definitely played better than me offensively, as those penalty minutes that I took just hurt me throughout the game. I was a man down for a sixth of the game with 3 forward lines. That's pretty rough. We'll see if he can bounce back in game 2. Hopefully I don't get into as much penalty troubles that game as well. I'll be back showing the highlights of that game in another video.